Hi, fifth grade. I'm back to go over the Chapter 3 review worksheet. It's the last 2 pages in your packet for this week, page 22 and 23. This counts as a quiz grade, so you want to make sure that you complete this. And actually, if you don't have it, you should stop the video right now and go get it and your pencil and sit down and work this while we're going through it. You can go through each section and stop after a section. If you want to go back and check something, you can go rewatch stuff. It'll help you to better understand and be able to complete this more accurately. We're going to start in section A. It says underline the nouns in each sentence. Remember, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. And there are more than one. In fact, I think there are 3 nouns in each sentence. So as you go through number 1, the sun is the closest star to the earth. Make sure you underline all 3 nouns. Number 2, its brightness hides the other stars during the day. Underline all 3 nouns. Number 3, scientists tell us that there are billions of other stars. Underline 3 nouns. Number 4, astronomers have discovered whole systems or galaxies besides ours. Underline 3 nouns. And in number 5, only God in His wisdom knows the exact number. Underline 3 nouns. In section B, write S if the underlined noun in the sentence is used as a simple subject. It's who or what that sentence is about. And then if it's not the subject, and a reminder, the subject is usually found in the first part of the sentence. Okay? It's usually near the beginning. It's not necessarily the first word, but it's near the beginning. That's usually when we find out what that sentence is about. We start talking about what the sentence is about at the beginning. You're going to write OP on the line if the underlined noun is used as an object of a preposition. Now, we've learned our prepositions. You've got a list there that I sent you an email a few weeks ago. So if a noun comes after a preposition in a sentence, then it is the object of the preposition. It's not what the sentence is about. It's not the subject. So if it comes anywhere, the first noun after a preposition is the object of the preposition. And you would label that OP on the blank. Number 6, a telescope can help us see the stars that are far away. Telescope is underlined. Is that the subject or the object of a preposition? Number 7, stars exist in various sizes. Sizes is underlined. Is sizes the subject of the sentence or the object of the preposition? Number 8, some large stars are given the title of supergiants. Supergiants is underlined. Is it the subject of the sentence or is it the object of a preposition? Number 9, our sun is classified as a dwarf star. Sun is underlined. Is sun the subject of the sentence, who or what the sentence is about, or is it the object of a preposition? And finally, number 10, supergiants are hundreds of times larger than our sun. Times is the noun that is underlined. Is times the subject of the sentence, or is it the object of a preposition? All right, section C. Use the proofreading mark to show which letter should be capitalized. We put 3 little lines under the letter that should be capitalized in a word. Remember, we capitalize proper nouns, specific names of people, places, or things. Number 11, our galaxy is called the Milky Way. Which words need to be capitalized? Number 12, we have a constellation known as the Little Dipper. Which words need to be capitalized? Number 13, at the tip of this constellation is a star named Polaris. Which word or words need to be capitalized? Number 14, also called the North Star, it can help people find their way when they are lost. Which word or words need to be capitalized? And finally, number 15, our science teacher, Mr. Adams, read the book, The Stars Speak. Which word or words should be capitalized? Three little lines under the letter of the word that should be capitalized. All right. If you need to stop the video and go back and look at section A or B or C, you can go back and review the video. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to move on with section D, and you can pick up back there when you start the video again. Section D. Fill in the circle next to the abbreviation that is written correctly. We talked about abbreviations earlier in the week. Remembering that most abbreviations are 2 or 3 letters. They begin with capital letters because they're proper nouns. And most abbreviations end with a period or have a period in them. All right? So number 16, which Saturday, June 6th is written correctly? Please bubble it in. 17, Senator Jensen. Which one is written correctly? Bubble it in. Number 18, 8 o'clock p.m. Which one is written correctly? Bubble it in. And finally, number 19, 76 inches. Which one is written correctly? Bubble it in. As we move on to section E on page 23, this is where you are going to write the correct plural form of each noun. We talked about plural nouns and how most regular nouns, you add an S to the end. But we have some special rules that we talked about. We'll briefly talk about those. Words that end in S or SH or CH or X or Z, you add an ES to the end instead of just an S. Also, we have words that don't change at all. We learned about sheep. We have 1 sheep. We have 10 sheep. We have 1 deer. We have 10 deer. We have 1 moose. We have 10 moose. There is no change to that word. We learned about words that have an F in them, like knife. We have 1 knife, K-N-I-F-E, but we have 2 knives, K-N-I-V-E-S. The F becomes a V, and we add E-S. We have words that have double O's in them, like foot become feet, tooth becomes teeth. So words with double O's, the double O's change to double E's. And remember, some words we change a Y to I and add ES. And also remember that we never have 3 vowels together. You can have 2 vowels together, but you never have 3 vowels together. All right, that's all of those. So you're going to do that for goose, wrench, circle, wife, box, cross, deer, and potato. Now, work on those as you go through this. Go back and listen to those rules I just talked about and fill that out. Take your time. Section F. Rewrite each phrase using a possessive noun. We learned that possessive nouns show ownership. Something belongs to the noun. And if it's a singular noun, you add an apostrophe and then an S, and that shows the possessive ownership of the noun. If it's a plural noun, there's a lot of times might already be an S on the end of that word. So if that's the case, then you just add an apostrophe at the end. For example, we'll do number 28 together. The colors of the clouds would be the clouds' colors. The color belongs to the clouds. So the clouds, there's more than 1 cloud. We can see that in the phrase they gave us. There's an S on the end. So all we have to do is add an apostrophe to that and say the clouds' colors. But if something doesn't have an S on the end already, whether it's singular or plural, like a word like deer, which does not get pluralized with an S, if you want to show ownership for the deer's antlers, it would be apostrophe S, as well as anything singular. All right. And in section G, fill in the circle next to each sentence that is written correctly. These have to do with comma usage. We just did comma usage in yesterday's video and also last week in chapter 15 we talked about comma usage. So you're going to remember that you're going to need commas at the end of a quote. So if somebody says something and it's in quotation marks, between the end of the quote, where the quotation marks ends, you put a comma before you put who said it. It's a beautiful day, said Tom, comma, after day and before said Tom, because it's a beautiful day is in quotation marks. So you set it apart from who said it with a comma. You set aside words like, no, I don't want to do that. No, comma, I don't want to do that. Yes, comma, I'd like to go. It's an introductory word. We set aside when we're renaming something, like in 35. You can look at 35 with me. We can do this one together. Their neighbor, Mr. Bradford, said that the star was a supergiant. You could say that sentence without Mr. Bradford. You could say their neighbor said that the star was a supergiant. You could also say Mr. Bradford said that the star was a supergiant. Because his name comes right in the middle of the sentence, you're going to set it off with a comma around it. A comma after neighbor and a comma after Bradford. Because Mr. Bradford is renaming neighbor. You're going to use commas, let me see, at introductory phrases that have 5 or more words. And you will use commas to set apart the introductory phrase. That's the part I just said. And then, of course, the commas in a series. If you're listing 3 or more things, I want a sandwich, chips, and cookies for lunch. Sandwich, comma, chips, comma, and cookies. You don't ever put a comma after and, but you put it in front of and in a series. All right, that's all of that. That covers the chapter review quiz. Like I said, as you're going through, you can stop it. You can go back and listen to it again because I've read the sections to you, so it should help you as you pay close attention to the directions. A lot of the trouble you guys have been having on your lessons this week is that you're doing the wrong thing. You're not reading what the directions tell you to do. Make sure you read what the directions tell you to do. I've read what the directions tell you to do. I've given you some clues here, so make sure you pay attention and do all of the things that it says to do in the directions. Make sure your name is on all of your papers. Turn them in, and I will see you on YouTube video next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.